So, what we're going to go over today is trauma, healing trauma, dealing with trauma, shadow work, integrating the shadow. I'm going to go over as simply and quickly as possible with as much detail as it needs to be given, the ultimate realization that you need to have. Well, not the ultimate. There's a realization that you have to have, and I'm going to walk you through it. I'm also going to give you explanations of things that I have been speaking about for a very long time, just in more detail. So let's just start with the trauma, healing, and shadow work. So shadow work and trauma, healing trauma, I feel like is overcomplicated. Just about like everything here, it's been overcomplicated. You have individuals who can understand the human mind, however, they have not understood that they are that mind, so then they put their ego on top of it, and then they try to overcomplicate it so they seem like they have some intellectual high ground. So let's get into it. So shadow work would essentially be you integrating the parts of you that this world, through programming, other people, religion, society, family, etc., told you was wrong, irreprehensible, immoral, it's bad, stuff like that. So I'm going to tell you this up front. Light can only be understood through darkness. So you have to go through the darkness and experience and understand darkness to understand what light really is. So I'll give you some examples with me to where I had to integrate my shadow. I realized I was taming myself for people. I realized I was not being my true self because I was worried about what other people would perceive, or if I would hurt their feelings, or if I would make it uncomfortable or make them feel bad. So I didn't want to be perceived as arrogant. I didn't want to be perceived as cocky. I did not want to be perceived as etc. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I had to do is I had to take a deep dive into myself and realize that is not bad. Like, why would it be bad to have confidence in yourself and belief in yourself? That's literally everything I've been talking about and preaching. So why would I, the person who's preaching this, find it off-putting to be confident in yourself? So this is just one example of integrating the shadow. So that is what you want to do. You want to explore all parts of you, the parts that you have kept away from the world, from other people, from your family, due to fear of judgment. So what you want to do is you want to get to know these parts of yourself, and you want to integrate. You see what I'm saying? You want to integrate it over here and to become the true you, because you cannot become the true you, the real you, the you that you are, without integrating that shadow. So shadow work is extremely important. If I need to clarify that any further, I can. I'm just telling you that's what it is. I give you an example. If I need to give more examples or I need to go further into detail, please ask and I will. So trauma and healing, vitally important. Vitally important. So everyone here has endured trauma in their life. There's no chance you didn't, because it's set up that way. So this trauma could come through multiple areas in multiple ways and multiple things. So what you have to do is you have to dissect this. So for an example, let's just pretend like you don't think you're good enough for whatever reason. You don't deserve whatever. You're not good enough. Why? Why do you think that? Why do you believe that? Think it through. So what would make you think you're not good enough? Is it something your father said to you? Is it something your mother said to you? Is it something that someone you went to school with, a teacher, said to you? Is it something that society's pushed on you and you didn't go along with, and then that made you feel some type of way because you somehow thought that you weren't, that you were a loser or whatever, because you didn't want to go with society's norms? Think it through. I'm going to tell you a secret. This is the greatest gift I can give you at this current point. No, it's not. It is a gift, though. Let me put it to you that way. I'm about to give you the gift, but this is a gift, too. Every single thing in your mind that you believe that you are not good enough, you are not worthy, you're less than, you're pathetic, you're a loser, you're whatever bullshit your mind's gonna, the devil's gonna tell you. It's all coming from programming. It's all coming from hurt and pain. So then you can come to the ultimate conclusion, like, dude, all this was programming, trauma put onto me through this place. And then you're going to get a chip on your shoulder, no doubt. And then you're going to get pissed. But then you're going to take a bigger step back and realize everybody's fucked up. Everybody's fucked up. So you can't really... Who are you blaming? Who are you blaming for this? Are you going to blame hurt people that were hurt for hurting you when they didn't know any better? See what I mean? And then this is where grace comes in at, my friends, because this is where you can forgive yourself and forgive everyone. It's a blameless game. And that's how it ends. You realize that and you change it. So that is trauma healing. That is shadow work. So let me give a brief example with the trauma before we get onto it. So for an example, for me, something that traumatized me was the way that I felt like some of my family treated me. And some of the ways that teachers spoke to me, some of the ways that things were presented to me. That's where a lot of my shit comes from, was not from what was told to me, but the way it was presented, the tone it was presented in, and the attitude it was presented with. You see what I'm saying? So I had to take a step back and realize that, like, again, these people are hurt. They don't even understand what they're talking about. It's a blind leading the blind game, honestly. Then I took an even, like, deeper step, and brutal honesty here is, I did not know this until I had children of my own. I didn't comprehend it fully. But children under a certain age take things completely different than it's meant to be, correct? So you could say something. This is a silly example, but it's one that someone has told me in my life repeatedly, and it's just an eye-opener that, yes, that is true. So for an example, my kid's mother was, when she was young, her mother said, oh shit, the motor's about to blow up in the car. Now, obviously, if you're an adult, you understand what that means. It doesn't mean it's literally going to blow up. It just means it's going to stop working, correct? So she freaked out and thought the car was going to blow up, and that traumatized her. So now do you see how it's hard to see things through a certain lens as a kid, and then sometimes as an adult you forget this, so you speak words without being conscious of them. Do you see where it's a two-way street here? So that's something that could help you move past it. That's all I'm saying. So now let's get into what I'm telling you that you have verified. I need you to understand you verified this. I need you to understand what I'm getting ready to say. So, the realization that you want to get to is that this is a self-created delusion. Now, hear me out. That sounds bad to say at first, but it's not. It's not. So you are in an illusion. You're in an illusion. I'm straight up telling you, and I have been telling you, you're in an illusion. However, what you have went through up until very, very, very recently is delusional. It is a delusion. I've tried to tell you this. Now that you understand it, I didn't want to throw this out here and you blindly believe me and latch onto it. So I wanted to throw a hint out there, and then you comprehend it and really understand it. So it was delusional. Do you understand that? It was all a self-created mind game with running off of assumptions, judgments, running off of cycles, running off of what you tell yourself and believe. Do you understand this? Please. Please. And I'm going to give you examples here to back up this claim. And there's nothing, it's the truth. If you believe you're in a simulation, right now, and this is literally a computer simulation, you believe that, that's true for you. There is nothing anyone can say or do to convince you otherwise, other than you realizing it's not true. If you believe this is nothing more than a byproduct of an evolution and a Big Bang then evolution, and billions, millions of years of magic, basically, then that is true for you. This is a physical reality. You're on a planet called Earth. You're flying through space in the Milky Way galaxy. In this solar system, do you see? And that is true for you. No one can convince you otherwise. Another example. Let's say that you believe wholeheartedly that this world was created the way that it is presented to you in any religious book, any one of them, pick it, or any creation story. If you believe that, it is true for you. No one can convince you otherwise. Why is that? Why is that the case? You got to be very honest and understand this. This is where the key is. What you believe, I've tried telling you this, by the way. What you believe is truth. Now, you need to understand the difference between truth and truth. So, I'm not talking ultimate highest level truth, because that's what you are. There's no, what are we even doing at this point? But let's bring it down right here to that truth. Whatever you believe is true to you. It becomes true. You will see more than enough evidence provided to you to back up these claims. Why is that? Because you are the truth. You are the ultimate authority. Whatever you say becomes true. Whatever you speak is truth, because you are the truth. You are far more powerful than you realize. You're about to realize it. You have realized it, but you're really about to realize it. So, what does that tell you? If I'm telling you that the ultimate realization that you need to have is that you're literally creating a delusion in your own mind, believing it and going along with it about everything. If I'm telling you that, and you have verified it, and you understand that impossible and impossible is bullshit words, listen to me very carefully. Who determines what's possible and impossible? You. You do. No one else but you. So, if you believe it's impossible to go out here and walk on water, that's what you're going to get. It will be impossible. And I'm using this reference, walking on water, for a very specific reason. Very specific. It is not impossible. It is entirely possible. In fact, it is obviously possible. There's nothing impossible. Please play this through in your mind. What makes anything impossible? What makes anything impossible? In order for something to be impossible, for one, it's impossible for something to be impossible. Do you see the paradoxical shit we're in now? Like, impossible is impossible. It's impossible for something to be impossible, but impossible is not a thing. So do you see the craziness we're in? So, if no one came to you and told you something was impossible, you wouldn't believe it was impossible. If you saw someone do it, you wouldn't think it was impossible. If you yourself did it, you definitely wouldn't think it was impossible, right? So, what if I told you the only reason that it's not been done by you, anyway, is because, again, listen to me very carefully. In order to pull this off, you have to accept and admit and do 3 things. You have to accept and admit this is not real. Not a single motherfucking bit of it is real. You have to accept and admit that. But then, while accepting and admitting none of this is real, you have to choose. You have to choose to treat this as the realest shit you'll ever see and experience. That's 1. 2, you have to believe that nothing is impossible. And I mean fucking believe it. Believe it. 3, you have to go try it. Do you see? Do it. Easily doable. I'm telling you, don't just try once and not get it done and think it's not. Do it, because it's fucking doable. So again, what determines anything? You are the judge, you're the jury, you're the executioner, you're the fucking, you're the plaintiff, you're the lawyer, you're the prosecutor, you're the, Do you understand this? Please tell me you understand this. Okay. So, again, I'm going to end this. Those are some examples, and those are things. Keep this in your mind. Keep it in your mind. The resurrection. They thought the resurrection was impossible, right? The resurrection's impossible. Guess what? It ain't impossible. We just pulled it off, 100% verifiable. So, I love you. It is a game of Formula Play of Life. I am you talking to you. And this is what we do. We create illusions. We have an experience. We tell stories. Snap out of it. Wake up and live. I love you.